starting event.
Oh, there it is.
Hello, guys. Christy, you there?
I'm here. I don't know what happened. Guys, I traveled this weekend to Florida, and they did something to my computer. It's the best thing I can guess. When we downloaded software so that I could present on Medicare, but I'm happy to report that is not what we're talking about today. So I am super excited because we have Dr. Jodi Dinnerman here with us today to talk about her very unique way of managing her practice. I have known Dr. Dinnerman since the beginning of when I started my career in ChiroHealthUSA. In fact, she was one of the first doctors that I ever worked with when I started and learning about ChiroHealth. And so we've been knowing each other for like 10 and a half years. And what's so interesting is over that time, she's gone from having staff to being a staffless practice. And although that is not the way everybody operates, in fact, I don't really know that many people who do it, I think that there's some really great efficiencies that she's input into her practice. So whether you have staff or not, it's just going to make you that much better in practice. So I am so excited, Jodi, that you could be here today.
And she's frozen. There she is.
Don't forget me.
Hey, guys, it's Dr. Jodi Dinnerman. So I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. I'm being Christy today, and Christy's being me today. I also have a button because I have the keys to the queendom on this video that says panic button. So if we need to panic, I'll go ahead and push the button. So yeah, I've been in practice 21 years on Thursday. It's 21 years, 21. Wow. And I would say most of that time I've been using ChiroHealthUSA. I think I learned about you guys from Cash Practice. And when I was first developing my fee system, and I've been using you ever since. I think. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's been that long because they've been our partners for as long as I've been here too. So, and you were already a provider with ChiroHealth when I started 10 and a half years ago. So, am I frozen again?
You keep freezing. Yeah, you keep freezing. So, I think what I'll go ahead and do is I'll just show you guys how I use ChiroHealth. Let's start with the why. So, does that work, Christy?
It does.
Okay, cool. So I'm a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor. I charge handsomely for my fees because I feel like what I do, or I know that what I do is crucial to the people in my community who come to know, trust, and love me as a family chiropractor. So if I have a fee per service, which I refer to as my retail fee, and I use insurance for a select handful of people in my practice, my rule of thumb with insurance is if it's easy to work with, I'll work with it. I'm not in network with anybody. I keep it really clean and really simple. Otherwise, it's too much. It's too much for me. It doesn't feel clean to me. But then I have families who don't have insurance to use for chiropractic care in this office, and they still want to come to me. So we're able to, what I say to my practice members, I say it very quickly, is in order to dodge two-tier billing, which is really not legal in the state of New Jersey, you have to join a discount club. It's kind of like Delta Dental USA, which everybody knows what Delta Dental is. It's a very common, popular thing. Delta Dental is a discount club for dentists. ChiroHealthUSA is a discount club for chiropractors. It's $49 for the year for the whole family. And that's how simple I keep it. It takes less than 30 seconds for people to get the concept. When I was new with ChiroHealth, I kept tripping over my words. And then I would just practice so that literally I can say it in a 30-second spiel. This is how we do our discounting program for ChiroHealthUSA.
Yes. And so in that time, I am here. Can y'all hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, and I love that you're so open that, in the beginning, you kind of trip over your words. And I think that everybody does that whenever you integrate something new into practice. And then sometimes like our initial reaction is because we're implementing this change and it's difficult. It was the wrong decision. it's just part of the process.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, change is not easy. And it's so funny because, you know how when you start talking about something, it starts popping up everywhere? Like disregard Siri and how Google listens to everything we say. I'm talking about like straight up coincidences, like old school coincidences where you start thinking about change and all of a sudden you see signs about change and you see someone walking by you on the street that has a shirt that says change on it, you know? So, or your son walks up to you and says, hey, Mom, do you have any change? So we are in my community in chiropractic, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're focused on growth. The month of April is all about growth, personal growth, professional growth, spiritual growth, community growth, you name it, right? And now every conversation I have, growth comes into the conversation. And part of growing up in practice, which is exactly what I did. I started my practice before I had kids, I was still new in the world of practice and chiropractic and all of it. I had so many growth opportunities, what I'll call them growth opportunities, things where I learned my lessons, and money stuff is definitely one of the things that I had to learn lessons around. It took me years to develop a fee system that I was comfortable with, that I felt like I was in fair and equal exchange for the value of my service. And as the value of my service increases, so do my fees. And I think that that's a fair thing. As long as you're not like being ridiculous about what you're charging, you're staying within the realm of usual and customary fees, be legit with what you charge and be really proud. You know, we have an entire online school, and we're going to talk about that too. And one of the teachers that comes into school, she talks all about asking for what you're worth and coming from a place of power when you're talking to your patients about money. Really hard to do when you're not quite sure what this whole chiropractic thing is all about. But the more comfortable you are in your skin and the more you trust your hands, it takes at least 5 years. I'm going to tell you right now, it takes 5 years to trust your hands and to get your brains out of hock from school, right? As soon as you start trusting your hands and see the value in what you do for the people that you serve, it's going to become a lot easier to ask for your fee. And you can do so in a fair, balanced, doable way with ChiroHealthUSA. I'm like your best commercial, Christy.
You really are. That's not why we invited her here today, but she is a great commercial. And I love that you talk about that feeling of being really proud of your fees and you know, having that confidence behind it to have that conversation, because it is uncomfortable. That's an uncomfortable conversation whether you're the staff, and it's an uncomfortable conversation when you're the doctor. So I think all too often, many chiropractors feel guilty for having to charge patients for their services. But in the same time, we're complaining about diminished reimbursements across the board. And it's about finding that happy medium and just saying, you know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm just telling you, this is my worth. This is the market value. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we go through, that growth and that change that we go through with any provider that comes on board with ChiroHealth, is being okay with charging for your services, because and not making them too low, which is funny since we teach you how to discount legally, but you can't discount your way to success.
Right. And you know, time takes time. It takes time to fit into your skin and to be comfortable with it. I remember asking for my fee per service when I was new in practice and feeling like I needed to apologize after I asked for it. And now I'm really just straight up. Like if you go to the supermarket, the person behind the register doesn't barter with you for your payment of their bananas, right? Their bananas cost what they cost, right? Unless you have some kind of a coupon that makes them discount. I like to see ChiroHealthUSA kind of like a coupon, but it doesn't cheapen your fee for service. It doesn't cheapen or lessen the value. It makes it affordable for people who aren't using their insurance in your practice. There are some people straight up who don't want to join ChiroHealthUSA, and they continue to pay me my retail fee every time they come in. Why do they do that? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but there have been people who have chosen to do that. Whether they want to send the full amount to their HSA, whatever their reasoning is, I've seen that happen too. So the key is for me, because my world in chiropractic is all about not having staff and automating the dickens out of everything that you do. I always have a yes on it as long as it can be streamlined and automated. And Christy asked me to come in today and show you how I automated this process.
I did. And I love that you did this amazing thing where it was the staffless practice. And I remember us having this conversation and I'm like, exactly how does this work? And tell me everything you automated. I need this level of simplicity in my own life. And what was so great is that I'm not the only person who is completely fascinated by what you've done.
Let's go there. Let me go there with you. So
yeah,
there were years, I probably spent a good 17 or 18 years in practice. And you guys do the math of how many hours that is, working about 30 to 40 hours a week on my practice, not in my practice. 80% of that was hiring, training, and firing staff. Hire, train, fire, hire, train, fire, hire, train, fire, until I was like, this isn't what I went to school to do. I don't want to be doing this. I want to be serving chiropractic because I am in love with chiropractic. And I remember one day I said, that's it. I'm done. I know how to automate things. I know that I can take this thing, the phone, I'm in my office right now. So the phone, I can take the first visit process. I can take the texting program and I can take the money stuff and I can make it so most of it is automated without losing the personal touch. And that's exactly what I did. And then in the spring of 2020, when the world changed overnight, I kept having friends call me and saying things like, hey, Jode, what's that thing you do with money with patients so that you can automate it? Hey, Jode, what's the thing you do with the phone? Hey, Jode, what's that thing you do with texting? And I was like, holy smokes, man, there's a need here. Like, people are reaching out to me because they're losing staff left and right for whatever reason, right? People didn't want to come in. They were freaked out about what was going on in the world. They may have gotten sick. They didn't want to wear a mask, whatever the reason was. And I said, this is my time to step up and start teaching. And I remember sitting right here at my front desk, and you guys can see this is my office. It's really beautiful. We call this the mothership. I have 2 offices. This is the main one. And I remember saying to myself, looking around and saying, who makes it possible for me to have an automated practice? And I made a list. I took a piece of paper and I took a pen and I made a list and I started making phone calls and I called ChiroHealthUSA and I said, hey, Christy, I may have had to call you a few times. Hey, Christy, I'm thinking about starting a school. Do you guys want to come in and teach all things money and discounting? Oh my goodness, that is the best idea I've heard all day. And that's what everybody started saying to me, including Cash Practice and the Jane App and Barbara Eaton and Danielle Eaton and Janice Hughes and Shaylin Osborne and all of these great leaders in the chiropractic world, in the world of staffless practice. So we put together a school and it's called Soup School. And you can go to stafflesspractice.com to learn more and we'll go through more details. But what I want to do, if it's okay with you, Christy, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you.
Yes.
So you guys can see that I'm on ChiroHealthUSA's website, right? So I'm going to start. This is the nuts and bolts of what we teach in my school. We teach you it's kind of like a finishing school for people in practice who are looking to automate their systems. This program is my texting program and it's called Zingle. And in Zingle, I have what's called templates, right? So this is my ChiroHealthUSA template. I'm just going to get out of this so that you guys can see what a template looks like. So here are my templates. And I'm going to go to, there's a ChiroHealth renewal. Like if someone needs to renew their ChiroHealth, I have a reminder in my Jane app that pops up when I'm checking that person out. And all I have to do is click there and look, you guys, it's all right here. Everything they need to know about rejoining ChiroHealth. It's $49 for the year. This is the anniversary of your 1 year, your 5 year, your 10 year with ChiroHealthUSA. So let's get rid of that template. And let's go to please join Chiro Health. There we go. Please join Chiro Health. And it looks something like I have a piece of paper on my desk that needs to be signed on their first visit in person, right? They already know about Chiro Health because I've already checked that box of what I need to tell them on their telehealth call. I send this to them. They go to this link. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this and just show you the link that I send them to on my website. They've already signed what needs to be signed. So let's go here. This is my website. It's lightsourcechiropractic.com. This is /Chiro Health. This is a page that lives on my website. They pay me $49. They fill this out, and then I have a VA sign them up for everything that needs to be signed up for. It's so easy, you guys. It's so easy. Let me just show you a couple of other things about my website, because this is just kind of bonus food for thought. Always have a whole lot of white space on your website. Don't have too many things. Let them look at your website and immediately within 5 seconds know how to contact you. Let them know who you are within 5 seconds of looking at your website. Don't have too many options to overwhelm them with. That's it. So I'm going to stop screen share. There we go. Good. Hi.
Hi. Which I love. And so it's really interesting the process that we had to go through and navigate this, and helping Dr. Jodi to be able to automate this as much as possible, which is actually it actually inspired a new update that we're making for all of our chiropractic offices to make it even easier for patients to self-enroll. Coming soon. Not available. It's in beta testing.
Big deal. Very big deal. It's going to make my life easier, although it takes me all of 3 seconds to get somebody to join Chiro Health. And here's what that looks like. So with my new patients, very different than what it was a year and a half ago. We start with a telehealth call. When the telehealth call is happening, again, I use the Jane app. I have a checklist within my telehealth call form. We talk about money. I talk about Chiro Health. I talk about the process of the initial intake. I talk about what I'm looking for. I explain very briefly what subluxation is. And then I say the rest of this time is allocated for me to listen to you. And I ferme la bouche. I shut my boca. And I listen. Why me? Why now? Tell me what's going on. I already have their health history form because all of my systems are automated, right? And then they come into the office and we do an exam and we give them an adjustment. And then I write a report for them. And then we do another telehealth call. All of that is paid for before they come in. I feel clean about them paying me before they come in and take my time. And I have never had to refund that money, knock wood. If somebody pays for your service, they value it. If it's for free, the value of it goes downhill for them, not necessarily for you. So please hear me say that. Always be an equal exchange with your time and your energy, especially if you are passionate about chiropractic. Don't cheapen it. It's more valuable than anything out there, and you guys know that to be true.
So tell me, and tell everyone too, how do you automate that payment process?
Sure. So in the Jane app, people book their first visit with me by going to my website. Here, let me show you. Isn't that cool? Because I have the keys to the queendom. There we go.
It is so cool. I still think it's so funny that we both clicked on the link and we logged in as each other, but
I like meeting you. How about it? Right.
I don't mind being you either.
So let's say that somebody wants to come onto my website and they want to check me out. They want to come in for a first visit. They're going to click the visit button. There are 3 options. They're either in the middle of a crisis and an emergency. They need to get an ASAP. They're looking for wellness care. Or I see a ton of pregnancy and prenatal pregnancy babies, latching people, like all kinds of before, during, and after labor, right? So they're going to click, chances are they're going to click on wellness care intake. And then there's a place for them to choose to schedule right here. And this takes them to my Jane app page. In order to book an appointment, they have to put a credit card in. Jane won't let them do anything else. If you are considering going to Jane, you have to give them my name, Staffless Practice. They're going to give you a month of Jane app for free to play with. It's the easiest software program to use. I love, love, love it. So let me just show you one other thing, because I think that you guys will get a kick out of this. First visit, let's say they're looking for a 911 prenatal. I get a ton of calls from, okay, here's the deal. Let me just unscreen share this. So I have a reputation in my area for doing really cool stuff with women who are about to give birth, whose babies are not in optimal position. I never tell people that's what I never tell people I flip babies. I never tell people, I say, I'm going to find your subluxations and I'm going to help your body to correct them so that your body is working with a full deck. And I trust the innate process of your body to take it from there. They can think what they want. I'm not in control of that, but I'm very clean with my languaging. So one of my options, because we have so many OBGYNs, because the truth of the matter is when we're not subluxated, our body does so much better, right? So a lot of OBGYNs will refer to me, and these people will see me like 3 times. I spend a ton of energy with them because I'm like, okay, this is like the most fragile time of their life, and there's a window where I can teach them the tick of chiropractic. So I'm going to teach them about subluxation. I'm going to teach them about innate intelligence. I'm going to teach them about universal. Like, this is it. This is my window. So I spend time with these people. I want them to pay me before they even book an appointment with me. So this is what that looks like. Ready? We're going to go here. So let's say they're looking for a crisis care appointment. And the wording here is really clean. I'm not saying I'm going to flip your baby. I would never say that to somebody. They pay on this page before they even have time booked with me. I explain it all here, right? There's no guesswork. There's no what's going to happen. What do we have to figure out? All of the questions are answered right here. So here's my suggestion to you with all of that being said. I know, again, we're getting off topic. Be really clear about the who, what, where, why, and when of your initial intake process. People don't know what chiropractic is. For all they know, you're going to be taking a hammer and a chisel and banging the dickens out of their spine. They don't know. So assume that they know nothing. And I'm going to tell you something else. If they think that they know, those are the patients that are even more difficult. They've had a really bad education in chiropractic. They take so much more time, energy, and really chutzpah to re-educate as opposed to somebody who's never been adjusted before. So take the time to take the time to take the time. Educate, educate, educate. And you can do all of that automated too.
I love it. I'm always so fascinated when we have this conversation, and yet I'm still never really surprised by all the cool things you have in place. So, and I love that. So then, a pandemic hits and you're just rocking and rolling in your usual way because you don't have staff that's calling in or out. It's just you seeing your patients. Now, other people are experiencing issues, staffing issues and things like that. And they want to know, how do they do what you do? And that's why you started Soup School.
So start with automating what your staff is doing for you. Meaning, instead of having them answer the phone, have it go to a voicemail and have them manage the voicemail system. How much time are they spending on the phone that you're paying for them, that they could be doing other things like marketing your practice for you? Be really smart about the roles that your staff is doing. Sign them up for Soup School, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I just got really tired of, I would always hire part-time staff, and I got really tired of spending hours and hours educating. I want them to get the chiropractic philosophy. I spend hours explaining we are not a back pain clinic. That is not what we do. And then they'll say to somebody, I'm so sorry you're hurting today. Dr. Jodi will make you feel a lot better. No! And I had just spent let's say the training was last week on the fact that we don't treat back pain, because in my practice, that's not my reality. I treat what's right with your body and help you make it bigger instead of what's wrong with your body and narrow in on that. That's my approach in chiropractic. So I found myself getting frustrated and spending time, money, energy until I finally said stop. And what the birth of Soup School, again, came from this need for clinics around the world. I mean, we have doctors in Singapore, Canada, England, South Africa. We have practitioners all over, and it's not just for chiropractic Soup School. It's really for women in practice who are looking to automate their systems, but we allow men in too. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share one more time. And then Christy, if you can screen share, because after I'm done with this, I'm just going to go to Staffless Practice and show you guys around. Hold on. Stafflesspractice.com. There we go. Come on, Jode.
Well, and I think the other great thing about this, and it's so great, is that you only launched this like 90 days ago.
And we were waitlisted last week. So here's what I'm doing. I'm cranking it back open for my ChiroHealth friends. It's kind of a big deal what I'm doing. So this is Staffless Practice, and these are our courses. Our courses are really our bread and butter, like our meat and potatoes. So we help you clean up your personal stuff, your practice stuff. We get you organized. We teach you how to use your phone like an automated boss. We give you marketing pieces in this Soup Marketing Academy Part 1 and Part 2. We teach you how to go digital with your marketing. We teach you how to use social media with your marketing. We teach you how to create your brand. We teach you how to talk about money, think about money, and organize money. We teach you how to keep your clients happy for years. And most important, we remind you and teach you and keep you connected to you being happy in practice. So a lot of our content in school is taught by me, but these are all of our content partners. ChiroHealthUSA comes in and talks about discounting and what's allowed and what's not. So does Robin from the Mission Driven Chiropractor. She's like a compliance queen, and she comes in and she teaches us, don't go right here, but go left here. Cash Practice comes in and talks to us about how to ensure that your practice members are happy and moving forward. The Jane app comes in and talks about how to use the Jane app in an automated way. And there's so much continued education in all of this. We're constantly adding more content to our curriculum. So Soup School is about 300 hours, a little bit more of recorded online, we call it a finishing school of sorts for women in practice who are looking to automate the shit out of their practice, excuse my language. So we have a lot of fun. We have an amazing community of doctors from all over the world who practice physiotherapy, PT, chiropractic. We have a pharmacist in school, you know, you name it, we've seen it. So does anybody have questions that they want to throw into the chat box about ChiroHealthUSA, about fee systems and discounting, or about Soup School in general? And Chrissy, they'll show up in the chat box, right?
They will. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up there so they can see that. But
all right,
yes.
Cool. So this is she's our avatar. You can go into the next slide. So what we don't want to see for you is that you have a practice that doesn't have direction, or that your wheels are constantly spinning, or that you're without the right words, or you feel like your mission is off, or you feel like you're serving the wrong people with the wrong tools, spending the time, money, and energy, and you're just going in circles. So what we do want to see for you is that we really want you to feel that you've got it together in practice, that you're ready for practice. Listen, if you're a chiropractor and you're on this call and you're spending this Tuesday afternoon with us, we know you have a message to share, especially if you're a ChiroHealthUSA doc. We want you to know how to share it. That is the biggest part of Soup School. So how do we do it? Again, these are our courses. These are the pieces that we offer to, it's about a year's worth of content if you move through it at 3 to 4 hours a week. It's a ton of content. It's lifetime evergreen. So as soon as you buy a seat to Soup School, it's yours forever. Really cool stuff. And then let's talk dollars and cents for a minute, since We are doing a ChiroHealthUSA. So the total value of a seat for Soup School is about $8,480. And you can see these are all of our different modules in our Inner Circle membership, and we give unlimited support. And what we offer our friends of ChiroHealthUSA is a seat for $1,900. So just go to soupschool.com/yes, and you can grab a seat. This is perfect timing. Anjali, I'd love to create packages for exactly what you've already created. Excited to learn more about ChiroHealth and get started with my Soup School training. You're going to love it, you know, and here's the thing. Oh, let me tell you guys one more thing. So wait, let's finish with this. So go to soupschool.com/yes to grab your seat. Again, it's soupschool.com/yes. A lot of people at this point will say to me, well, what is soup? Can you explain that to me? Can we get out of this, Christy?
Yes, we can.
Get me out. Soup is staffless entrepreneurial women in practice, and here's why. I want you to start thinking product ladders. I want you to start thinking secondary sources of income. You don't have to stop at chiropractic. However, if you want to stop at chiropractic, I want you to use the systems and implement them in all of the lessons that we teach from our content partners so that you can have the tools you need to go out and get them. We want you to be adjusting as many people as possible because the world needs us more than ever right now, especially in our neck of the woods in this part of the world. Man, oh man, are people subluxated.
Right. And I think one of the things that when Dr. Jodi and I were talking about this last year, and she was telling me about Soup School and what she was doing, and we were catching up, I said, well, not everybody's going to feel comfortable with a staffless practice, but I know so many people who would feel more comfortable if they learn, like, how functional and efficient would a practice be incorporating this, even if they do have staff. But maybe
let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
I want to talk about so I just put my cell number in there too. You guys can text me and we can go back and forth and answer questions. Let me talk you through a typical week in my practice and how much time I spend on each thing. So I grew up listening to Arnaud Bernier, if you guys know him, and he taught me you always come to the office early and stretch and get centered and see your practice members happy and healthy, right? So I come in ideally on an ideal day, 15, 20 minutes early. I get quiet. I turn everything on. And then when I'm in flow and I'm seeing patients, and I look at my clock and it's 3 hours later, I never adjust for more than 3 hours at a time. That's my window. More than 3 hours, I start to get tired and my hands start to hurt. And then the admin stuff probably takes me 15 minutes at the end of each shift, because in between practice members, I'm saying, hey, Sally, how you doing today? The last time you were here, you had XYZ going on, and I'm typing. I have a computer set up at each one of my adjusting stations. I'm really clean with my soap notes. You guys have to be legit with your soap notes. You got to dot your I's and cross your T's. And then it takes me 15 minutes tops to do my checkout at the end of the night so that I'm home by 7 o'clock and having dinner with my family, right? So I do that. I probably adjust 12 hours a week. My practice sees anywhere between 70 and 100 people a week. And the more time, Soup School has taken off. We have gotten very busy very fast. So I have the ability to do that because I've automated. My practice is the easy part. So I want for you, for your practice to be the easy part so that you can go get them, Tiger.
I love that. And I love that you have, and again, in that automation, you've managed to take the part that every chiropractor dislikes, that paperwork and all of that stuff, the administrative stuff. That's not what y'all went to school for. And you've managed to be able to do it quickly and efficiently, so it's not taking up too much of your time. So the primary focus is that you are treating patients.
Yeah, you're treating, you're teaching. The word doctor means to teach, right? So we're teachers, and you're providing such an important service right now. I have a virtual CA, I have somebody who works for me. She works for my practice maybe 5 hours a week. That's all that's needed, you guys. I'm not even kidding, because there's really nothing to be done because it's all automated. She does the ChiroHealthUSA signups. We keep everything HIPAA compliant because it's all in the cloud on Jane. Like, it's very clean and clear. And if it's not clean and clear, we figure out how to make it clean and clear. And all of that is given to you in Soup School, all of my systems.
I love that. So you've provided them with she provided you with her cell phone number.
Yeah.
And you can go visit her beautiful website.
Yeah.
That shows you all the different stuff you learn with Soup School. I'm trying to think. So what is coming in the future? What are your next?
Okay, so we're in the process of getting our book published. It's all about how to run a practice as automated of a way as possible, all on the foundation of joy, having joy in practice, rediscovering joy in practice. We are growing. Every week we grow more and more, and we're developing these beautiful relationships with our content. My favorite right now, who I love bragging about, is Danielle Eaton. I can't get enough of her brain. She's so brilliant. Janice Hughes has been a huge part of Soup School and seeing it all come together. Dr. Russ Rosen has taught. I mean, Dr. Rosen's content in school alone is valued at over $3,000. He teaches the importance of certainty, how to be certain with your new practice members and how to let them know how certain you are. Danielle teaches about how to create an online course for continued education for you. All of this is in school. Barbara Eaton comes in and talks about being in a place of power as a chiropractor, as a doctor, as a practice owner. And then we're constantly adding fun things in our Facebook group. There's so much happening in our world. Reach out to me and I'll send you all of the information. But here's the deal. I wanted to say this too. The $1,900 seat, that does not last. That's good until the end of April 1st. That's my 21st year in practice date. That's our birthday. So the end of business on April 1st, that number goes away, and our regular seat, if you look up a seat for Soup School right now, it's $23.95. So $1,900 is a big discount only for the ChiroHealthUSA community.
And we so appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
So, well, I know that a lot of you make sure you jot down Dr. Jodi's cell phone number. I know I use it to text her questions all the time.
Anytime, anything you guys need. Even if you never intend to buy a seat for Soup School, if you want to pick my brain about what I do with this and what I do with that, if you're wondering how to do it, other people are too, and I'm here to serve.
Well, and don't think that you're asking a silly question, because after she tells me all of this stuff a couple of months ago, for like the next week, every day I was like, but what about this? Like, how do you this? And so that was the whole process, like we're talking about, because I'm thinking this is like the coolest thing ever. I wasn't kidding. I want to automate everything in my office too. And
you got to call me up. We got to do a one-on-one. We'll go through the shelf that's sitting behind you.
I know. What we need a coffee break.
We need a shopping break, a shop opportunity.
Shopportunity. I love that. A shopportunity. And y'all, she is like that. Like, this is her energy level and her joy all of the time. And it's so funny because I always talk about there's so many people who in person radiate this type of energy and joy when you talk to them or when they talk about something they're passionate about. Dr. Jodi radiates this joy in person, online, all the time. But you're always like this. And I know that if I call you, you're always like, hey. And I'm like, I just feel it all the way from New Jersey to Mississippi.
There are some people that I'm really grumpy around. I think it's just you. I just like talking to you, but I really am lit up about what we're doing. I think it's very cool. And I never knew that I would serve in this way. And it's turning into a really big deal. So jump in. Thank you for spending the time with us today. I'm going to go get ready to serve some practice members.
Well, thank y'all so much. And again, if you have questions along the way, Dr. Jodi's provided her cell phone number. If you didn't write that down and you forgot, then you can just email me, because you all have my email address, and say, Christy, I needed to ask Dr. Jodi this question, and we'll make sure to get you connected.
Absolutely. I'd love to help. Thank you, you guys.
Bye, everybody.